Okay, welcome back to D&D. So, last week, you had to worry about getting both Fiffle and Kaito out of prison, and had met with Dupla, who offered a solution to kill and replace a member of the council hall. So, you had followed that member from a tavern to a drug den, scouted out a bit, were able to sneak in through the back, were able to make contact with the council hall member, and from there, you were then able to lure him into taking a very potent drug, getting locked in a padded room, and then were able to get him to take a much higher dosage than he should have, which resulted in his heart stopping. You were then able to reanimate the body and walk it out of the actual drug den, and from there, Dupla took his identity, went to the council hall, and was able to get Kaito and Fiffle freed. While this was
Hooray!
going on, Fiffle then decided to go into hiding because he's not really sure where everyone is.
Yeah. So from Piffle's perspective, a mysterious figure has had them freed for its own purposes, and that's never good in my experience.
He needs to
So
find
Piffle's on the line.
accomplices. Must find his accomplices so he can get the fuck out of Dodge.
Yeah.
Probably a smart idea in this town. Also, while this is going on, Fern was caught trying to hide in the bathroom until the temple reopened and she'd be able to actually escape.
No. She used the scroll,
She used
and she was going to go back to bed as a drow child.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Yep, you're right. But got caught and was then taken down to the spider stables where she would be forced to work until she can actually manage to escape. So, we leave it off there. So, should we start with Fiffle or Fern?
Fiffle.
Fiffle. Fiffle.
Why not?
You find yourself in the inner city. You had been escorted out of the actual council hall. All of your gear and money had been returned to you. You decided to go into hiding.
Deeply suspicious.
And when you decided to go into hiding, well, you're in the inner city. So where would you like to go?
Let's see. So we're in the Underdark. So none of the typical organizations are down here. I'm going to look around for the Underdark equivalent of Thieves' Cant markings.
Yes, please give me
Yes.
I'm sorry, yes, give me a perception check.
As they have Undercommon, they must also have Under Thieves' Cant. Which I will badly translate using a complete guess.
Fiffle, you actually do notice some markings on a couple of the statues. It is similar to the Thieves' Cant that you are familiar with. The lines are more angular.
Really? Oh.
Look a little more sharp. But it looks very similar to the icon indicating safe house.
Ooh.
It seems that
specifically the icon I'm looking for.
It seems that thieves have the same ideas both on the surface and the Underdark about what icon should look like.
And also that we need to hide a lot.
Mm-hmm. You say safe house, and I think like Grand Theft Auto safe house icons.
That
would be a really good GTA spinoff, like a D&D setting GTA.
There's supposed to be a Cold War spy GTA kind of thing, but it got canceled. Anyway, the icon in this Underdark Thieves' Camp does show arrows that point to other icons of the safe house with other arrows.
All right, I will follow the illuminated path.
Okay. Takes you about 5-10 minutes, but you do eventually arrive at a small nondescript shop. The doors are closed. The curtains have been shut, but doesn't look like anything's different from this shop compared to every other shop, with the minor exception that if you look at the sign, you're not able to actually read what it says, but there is some artistic flourish on the sign itself that is, to the untrained eye, just random art, but to your specially trained eye, especially knowing thieves can't, you can see that it actually is mixed in a bunch of thieves can't inside that shows safe house, fence, and a couple other things. You're not really sure. You think you could probably translate it with like maybe a minute or two of like study.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead in there.
Inside is a little darker, bit dusty. Just looks like a kind of standard general store. There's a drow man. Sees you enter. Hello. Have tough enough.
I don't suppose you speak halfling, do you, friend drow?
My
Pickle says in halfling.
halfling is a little rusty, but I am halfway decent at it, I suppose.
Ah. Well, I am. I'll keep it simple. I am a brother in the ways of skullduggery from the surface, and I find myself the need to disappear for a brief period of time.
He swaps into seems like a mix of halfling, undercommon, and a bit of thieves' cant. Looks, you're able to make it out more or less all right. I can certainly help you disappear. We have our networks underneath here. Of course, you just coming into my shop, I have to be certain you're a friend.
Oh, of course. I'm happy to provide this letter of recommendation. Piffle draws a letter of recommendation out of his pouch.
Oh, it's not quite what I was thinking. It's more of a favor for a favor.
Oh, yeah, that works too.
Well,
how can I help you?
Just need to make sure that you're not working for any of our competitors or anyone in the city.
I'm from far away. I wouldn't be looking for. I wouldn't be working for.
Foreign mercenaries are a popular item to purchase here.
Mm.
How would you feel about a little bit of eavesdropping?
Eavesdropping's a specialty of mine. I've
Perfect.
dropped more eaves than most.
Excellent. Oh, how's your undercommon?
I have none. I do not speak it at all.
Not a problem. We have had some specialists working on, and he goes from under the counter and pulls out a device. It is basically, it's like a little bit of metal, and it's like a metal case. There are shoulder straps on it and a back and chest part, and it links around with a belt. Here we are.
The hell is that?
So, this is fascinating. We had some artificers whip this up for us. What it does is that there is a wax disc that goes on the interior, and you just aim this little, and he kind of pulls a little, looks like a horn out, and is like, this is a little speaking tube. When people speak into the tube, or it's pointed in their direction, then when they talk, it's recorded on the wax cylinder on the interior. It uses a series of springs to power it. And he pulls
what
out like
magic is this?
Pulls out like
you
a little.
Got a spell involved.
Oh no! It's actually quite the opposite of magic. It's meant to defeat any anti-magic systems put in place. It uses a series of springs.
Quite clever.
Yeah. He pulls out like a
I mean,
little.
I have a magical recording device actually. Now that I remember that, but if your preference is that it can't be magically disabled, your elaborate contraption here might be the way to go.
It's going to be, actually. This is made for a very special scenario where a certain party is going on, and anti-magic is being set up to just prevent things like this from occurring. The standard. So, that's why we have this. And, to make it even better, you wind it up, and it has a full 10 minutes of recording time before it needs to be wound again.
Gosh. That's very impressive to
Mhm.
me, a medieval halfling who does not know about technology. So cool. You would like me to record certain conversations of certain parties at this party? Is that where you're going with this?
Oh, yes, there's a lovely little garden party occurring.
Ooh.
And if you can get the eavesdrops in, you just need to record the conversation of a very specific drow. Oh, and if you're able to slip off a signet ring of his, I'll sweeten the deal. An extra 200 gold for you.
I'm in.
Perfect.
I'll need a few minutes to create a disguise, though. I don't want to be recognized.
Not at all. This is going to be happening in an hour or two, if you're able to.
Yeah, I'm gonna bust out the disguise kit and disguise myself as a serving hobbit of some kind. A very nondescript serving hobbit.
Perfect.
Here, hold on. I think there's a roll for that.
Yep, just got to use your disguise kit roll.
Pew! Right.
You make a relatively decent disguise to make you look like a serving hobbit. You still appear to be a halfling, but a halfling with...
Well, that's hard to hide.
Yeah. Although if you get two halflings, you can have one halfling stand on the other and wear a trench coat.
You certainly could.
But you whip up, making itself look like you've suffered a couple of pox scars. You change your eye color. You put on a wig. Change your hair. Put on some makeup to really like break up how your face looks. And put on a little goatee.
Never fails.
Excellent. Well, he pulls out a silver collar and puts on there. That is a...
I need to get closer to the thing here.
That's an indentured servant's collar, but we've tampered with the lock so it doesn't actually fully lock. Give it a bit of a tug and it'll pop right off.
Perfect.
He puts on a signet ring onto the counter. That is the fake signet ring. The one we want is specifically magically enchanted.
Ooh.
And so whenever it's used to mark a paper, it can be detected magically to ensure that it isn't counterfeit. That fake one we provided you isn't magically enchanted, but the person probably won't notice until a while. So hopefully we'll have gotten some work done with it before it's noticed. And of course the recording kit, which you will want to give it a shot. Try it out. It's quite fun.
So this is the thing I have to wear on my back?
It fits over like a full, almost like a bulletproof vest where it fits over your front and your back. It weighs about 30 pounds.
Okay. How convenient.
Mm-hmm. It shows you the key. So what you do is when it runs out of power, you simply take the key here. It takes a little brass key, and you just insert it into the... It shows you around the back. You just put it into the part in the back, and you twist it. You just crank it 10 times. Each crank will give you a minute's worth of power, and then you can... And he shows you the front. There's like a little switch here. You flick it, and it will start recording again.
Huh. Okay, I'll put the contraption on and I'll test it out.
The 30 pounds, it's generally pretty heavy. Spread out between the entirety of your torso, it's not horrifying, but you can definitely feel it weighing on you. The shoulder straps are a little thin, so it's kind of cutting into your shoulders a bit.
Mm-hmm.
There you are. And you notice a small kind of horn attached to a tube leading into the device. It's like, and as you can see, if you just hold that up to somebody, then When they speak into it, it will record onto the wax disc. Now,
Okay.
of course,
So
you
this
don't.
seems to work well. I do have a couple questions though.
Yes, of course.
Typically, at most garden parties that I've been to, there isn't a person walking around with a 30-pound backpack holding up a small horn to people while they're talking.
That is a concern, yes. I would recommend a robe over it, or perhaps a very billowy cloak.
Ah. You'd happen to have one of those handy, would you?
He pulls out a billowy robe.
Perfect.
I will need that back. It is real silk.
Of course. I'm sure nothing will happen to it.
Of course. He gives you the signet ring. That's the fake one. You'll just need to replace it. And he slides over the silver collar and just give that one a snap around your neck. Go up to the servant's entrance and you'll be waved right in.
Sounds like nothing could possibly go wrong. Let's do it.
And if anything goes wrong, I highly recommend you hightail it out of there as quick as you can.
Got it.
Would you happen to have any smoke bombs of any variety?
Smoke bombs. No.
I happen to sell smoke bombs for escaping purposes.
Do you?
Mm-hmm. I also happen to sell arrows that will release a rope when fired for easy climbing.
Does this guy happen to be named like Barrett?
No, but he's definitely taken some inspiration from Thief.
I'm not criticizing, mind you. Quite the opposite.
I bet you charge a hefty price for those fancy smoke bombs, huh?
They're relatively useful. I would give you one for.
I'll give you 10 gold for one.
Ooh, now generally one is about 20 gold.
Kind of a lot. Tell you what, give me one for 10 gold for now. And if I survive, I'll give you the other 10 gold.
Make a persuasion check.
Not that I think there's any chance that I won't survive, but
You raise a good point that you might not survive. I really would like the full 20 gold right now.
okay, here you go, you bastard.
He slides over a small, looks like kind of like a black egg.
Cool.
Anyway, just throw it on the ground and we'll release a billow of smoke. And from that point, run as fast as you can.
Got it. Now, if this doesn't work, do you offer refunds?
Yes. If it doesn't work and you survive, I will definitely offer you store credit.
Okay. All right. Cool.
So, you probably want to know who you're actually eavesdropping on and the person who you'll be getting the ring from. So, you're looking for one Rizvin Azel. He is the youngest brother of the head of House Azel. Very far down the line of succession, but definitely does a lot of bureaucratic work on behalf of the family.
Where'd my coffee go?
He slides over a cup of coffee.
Oh, thank you.
All I'm saying is I was trying to eat something and I almost choked when he said refund.
So, simply record as much of Rizvin Azel's conversation as you can.
Okay.
If you're able to, get the signet ring, and I will give you 200 gold. And, yes. If you need to, for whatever reason, ditch the recording device, try and bring us back the wax disc. It is safely hidden on the inside. You just have to open up the little chest container and remove it.
Got it.
That's if you have to ditch it. I do need to charge for fail to return equipment.
Okay. Uh, we can talk about that when the time comes.
Perfect. So, this is a lovely garden party you'll be attending. Your undercommon is a bit limited, so just go around carrying.
I will pretend to be a deaf mute.
Perfect. Excellent idea.
Mm-hmm.
I think you'll go far here. Anyway, once you return safely, as I'm sure you will, I will have a safe house available for you. I can even get you somewhere further away, whichever you prefer in terms of your hiding abilities.
Okay.
Anyway,
Wait, hold on. What was the offering?
oh, well, if you want to, we have a safe house. It's a couple of safe houses throughout the city. Or if you'd like, I could send you down river to an in-between safe house between one of the various cities in the Underdark.
Okay. Well, let me try and get this job done, and we'll talk about it.
Very well, good. Well, do take care. Oh, and the party itself, simply head down the road, take a left, go down about 4 blocks, take a right, and then another 3.
Okay.
And then to get back here, simply reverse those directions and come back.
Got it.
Well, very good. I have great confidence in your ability to make it through this.
Yes.
Oh, and do be careful that recording device. I've noticed it has a tendency to make a little of a winding noise once it's activated.
Right. Of course. What could possibly go wrong? Nothing. Great.
Nothing.
Perfect. All right. I'll suit up and waddle on down the road with my 30-pound backpack.
All right. While Fiffle's doing that, we're going to go back to Fern.
Hopefully not get me killed. A little bit.
Heading to Fern. Fern, you've been dragged down the stairs into the spider stable by the 4th step priestess. Just drops you off there. Well, Acolyte, priestess in training, you are going to learn a valuable lesson today. I'm going to have you work with the stable master here, and you're going to be milking the venom from the largest spider we have here.
Gus.
What's its name?
So, the priestess calls over a older looking drow woman who has, you definitely looks like she has seen a lot of kind of activity in her life. Her face is scarred from a variety of bites and what looks to be long-term exposure to poisons. She is wearing a leather armor and is carrying a whip and a kind of leather cudgel in one hand. Whip tied to her waist. She comes over. All right, Acolyte. She grabs your arm and kind of drags you over to a middle stall. Inside of here is the biggest spider we got. It's already wounded 3 priestesses, so good luck.
Why would you make me do that?
Just milk the venom from it. Once you have a full bucket, you can...
How do I do this?
You should know how to milk a spider by now.
This is my first day. How am I supposed to know how?
What are they teaching you kids anymore?
No one wants to milk anymore.
Just get the spider to put the fangs in the bucket and get it to dribble the poison in until it's full. Then bring the bucket out to me, and your considered punishment is done for today.
Okay.
If there's any trouble, just ring the bell inside.
There's a bell. Okay.
Just
inside the stall, there's a bell?
Yes. Although that spider certainly learned that the bell equals dinner time, so do be sparing in your use of it.
Mhm.
And of course, we'll be locking the door behind you just to prevent any escape attempts from either
By
For
who?
party.
me or the spider?
Both.
Okay. Oh,
Yes.
okay.
The two rather nervous priestesses go and unlock this thick, large metal lock from the stall, and they just kind of slide the door open. And the stable master pushes you inside, and the door shuts behind, and you just hear the lock clap shut.
Hi, spider.
You see inside a large. This well, most of these giant spiders are horse sized. This thing is massive. It is brown with a number of stripes across its fur. All 8 eyes centered on you. You can see the giant fangs just. The fangs themselves are about the size of your forearm, and they are dripping a kind of green, thick soup from them. You can hear it hissing and chittering. It
Um,
is unmoving currently.
I'm gonna use speak with animals.
Okay.
With spider.
Okay.
Hey, buddy.
Hi. How are you today?
Good food here.
No, I'm not food. Sorry.
You're not one of them.
Ye
I
yes, I
can
am.
smell your different meat.
Look, I just want to finish this and get out of here, and then you can have your food. Okay?
Or I could have my food now.
No, 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 no.
Or I could web you up and save you for a snack for later.
Yeah, let's not do that.
I think that you're a little creature here, stuck in with me.
Look, can I just have some of your venom and then I'll get out of here and then you don't ever have to see me again.
But what if I want to eat you,
Well,
little
I don't
one?
want you to eat me.
Then we're at an impasse because I want to eat you.
Well, you can have some other food once I'm gone from here.
Vern, make an animal handling check. Other food later or food for me now? I don't really know. I prefer both. I don't see
Is there
why.
anything is there anything else that you want that I could get for you?
Food's always good. Although if I would love to break out of here and rip apart that stable master.
Oh,
The
what
one
has
with the
she done
whip.
to you?
That whip is a nasty little item on her. I'd open her up from chest to sternum, or whatever you creatures have. Open you right up, rip you apart, drain her of all that she's got.
I don't think that's a very good idea either. I mean, what would you do after that? They would probably just capture you again.
I make what they want. A few dead ones of them doesn't mean anything. I could kill probably 20 of them before they'd even start to care.
You wouldn't want to get out forever?
Ooh, that's a good one too. I could go all sorts of places. But this is a big city. They dragged me through the whole thing, and I remember it quite well. Not a lot of places for me to go once I'm out, unless I can make my way across the whole of the city. We're right in the center in it.
You're faster than them, aren't you?
Once they're on their little creatures, nope, they can hunt you down real quick like.
What creatures do they have?
They got other spiders like me. They got these fast little lizard folk. They got even a couple of these creepy flying rats.
Oh.
Out of character. What the fuck? I didn't see no flying rats.
You
I want
actually
flying
did.
rats.
I'm
Are they
assuming
the
bats.
bats?
Whatever you call them, the rodents.
Hmm.
With wings.
They're like half bat people.
Sort of, I suppose. I don't put a
Okay,
lot of
we did see
difference
this.
in what my food is beyond how much meat they got in their bones and how much fluids they got in them.
Fluids.
Delicious, delicious fluids.
Anyway, I've had enough talking, so I'm gonna be biting you soon.
No, don't. Oh, no, just put some venom in this bucket, and then I'll leave.
You
And
see,
maybe you can sneak out whenever I get out.
that doesn't really appeal to me because you're basically saying, "Here's some food from in front of me," but it's actually not for you, and it's gonna leave.
I'm not. I'm not food though. I'm not.
You'd be surprised.
I'm not.
You're food for me, and I can tell you got.
I'll tell them that you are very good and that you need extra food whenever I leave.
Oh, you're in such a good position with them to see that.
It could be.
You could be, but are you?
Maybe. You never know.
You're a strange one. Maybe I won't eat you. Maybe I'll just save you for later.
No, don't do that either. Just let
I
me
like it when they
leave.
tire themselves out trying to escape. It makes it easier for me to stick into them and inject me venoms and then drain them dry of all that they got. Really, it's just cruel to not even allow me to do that. It's denying me nature. Wouldn't you agree?
No. Look, they give you all the food that you need here, right?
They give me enough, but not everything I want.
Well, what else do you want?
They give me half the food I want. I want more. I'm a growing boy.
You're still
He's a
growing?
growing boy.
I'll be getting bigger soon. I'll be molting soon. I'll need a bigger pen too, thinking about it.
Oh, maybe they'll give you more food then.
Maybe. But I couldn't say for certain. And I tell you, those ones, the ones who look like you but ain't you that they bring in, they're not the best for eating, but I bet you are.
Why do you think that? If they're the same as me.
But you might look like them, but I can tell you're not one of them. You got a different scent to you. The other spiders here, they can tell the same. When you passed by earlier, they were hankering to get a bite into you.
Oh, they feed? They feed their own people to you?
Generally, no. Typically, they'll bring in the ones with the little metal bits around their neck for me and the others. Or they'll bring in the wasps or anything else they can get their hands on. I'm not terribly picky. But the ones who be milking me for me venom, that's a bit of a strange one. They're a little bony for my taste. Not a lot of meat or fluids in them. Too tall. But you're nice and short, and I get you plenty of fluids. I've never seen one like you before. With the long ears and the fluffy little tail there.
No, I don't have that. What are you talking about?
Not now, but I can sense it around you. The others might be fooled, but I'm not.
Okay, well, what's your favorite? And I'll try to get something for you, a treat.
Oh, there's these green fellas. Orcs, I think they call them. Bring me a nice big orc.
Hmm. Well, I have to leave to be able to do that. So if you give me some venom, I'll go find one for you.
Make another animal handling check.
Oh my god.
You see, we're at a bit of an
Ridiculous.
impasse. Because I don't think you'll be coming back.
Why do you think that?
You just don't seem like you'd be able to bring a orc back for me, and frankly,
I have friends. They'll help me.
it's probably better for me to consume now and worry about it later, right?
But you said they're your favorite.
They are. But there's no guarantee of me getting one. But you're here now. And I've never eaten one like you before, so perhaps you'll be my favorite.
No, I won't. Nope, definitely not. Too small.
It's like a little single bite and you're gone.
Yeah, see? You won't even enjoy it.
I don't know, maybe you got a lot of flavor in you.
I doubt it.
Well, we're at an impasse. I'm not giving you my venom until I figure out what I want to do with you. Maybe stick you to the ceiling and
Yeah, don't do
decide
that.
later what I want to do. Give me a few
No.
hours to decide. That'll be enough.
I think they'll come in here if that happens.
Maybe. Can't say for sure, really.
Come on, we can be friends.
An interesting thought. How can we be friends? I really just seem to cut the world into bits, food and not food. That's a lot easier that way. Wouldn't you agree?
Nah.
It kind of is.
Fiffle just telepathically communicating with Fur.
I mean, like, what kind of life do you have then? You're just stuck in this box all day.
It's not great, I'll give you
Forever.
that. Nah, me, I'd like to dig me a nice little hole, and when anything swings by my way, I'll slap out of the little hole I made, grab them, and pull them back in. Good
Well,
times.
if you give me some venom, I'll go out there and distract them, and you can try to get out.
Interesting thought, but then that's all about planning. Where would I go after that?
Get out of the city.
You make it sound a lot easier than it really is. Like I said, I walked through the city, and the city is a big place. There's not a lot of spots for me to hide.
Well, you said you could dig a hole, and wait until they're not looking for you, and then
I can
sneak
dig
away.
a hole through dirt, not through stone, love. You know how digging
There's no
works, right?
dirt.
It's
There's no
all
dirt.
all stone, paved, bricked, and they have expert trackers. Honestly, if anything, I have a pretty good deal right here. If they would only feed
Oh.
me a bit more.
Oh, I'll convince them to feed you more if you're very hungry. And what about if you're? What if all the spiders here broke out? What would happen then?
That would be a fun one. We'd probably kill all the people down here.
Out of
Do you ever talk to them?
unionize. Out of character, unionize.
Just ride out of here on the back of a giant spider.
Yeah. What, do you ever talk to them? You could probably all break out together, right?
If every lock was undone at once, then yes, of course. But I don't exactly have the fingers like you got to open up the locks. And these cages we're in, they're meant to keep us inside. So we're not exactly gonna bash our way through now, are we?
You could, right?
I just said we can't because of how strong they are. They're meant to keep us in.
I mean, that spider's a lot bigger than the other spiders.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't break out. You're bigger than every other spider here.
I've tried. And I am bigger. And stronger. But that doesn't really change the fact that these cells were meant to keep us in and are locked pretty tight. But maybe if you unlocked them, we could get out. If you can pick the key to it.
Well, we could do that. I have a
You
friend who could help with that.
And once again, we're
Opening
back
up
to
all
the
the
impasse here because
Meanwhile,
we're at an impasse here because I don't want to let you leave because I don't know if you'll actually be back. It's a bit of a gamble, don't you think?
Yeah, but I
eventually
mean,
nothing
what
new.
kind of gamble is that? You could have your freedom.
I kind of want to help these spiders now.
You could have your freedom, and all of your spider friends here could as well.
We're not
A
really
union
friends.
of slaves and spiders
Well-
escaping Drow City.
I wouldn't exactly spend time with them outside of here if I could choose to, and
You would
If they
like to see
entered-
them free though, as well, right?
not particularly. It's just
Oh, you don't
extra.
care about them.
If they came into my territory, I'd kill them. And they simply are extra competition I could do without.
If all of you left at the same time, it would be hard for them to catch you all. Yes.
True. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. What chances?
They got their expert trackers there. The ones are good at finding us with the long poles that are good for sticking us from a distance.
Hmm.
So tell me again, why should I let you leave when I could simply snack on you now and have a guaranteed snack versus what I feel isn't exactly a great deal? It's a real big gamble to say that you'd either be able to get me an orc or you'd be able to let us all out. I mean, imagine you were in my place. And don't pretend and say that you would actually let me leave, because I have a feeling you wouldn't.
Why do you think that?
Because everyone in this town's out for themselves, don't you know?
I'm not from here.
That's a given. You look like it, but you definitely don't smell like you're from here. You smell like you're from some soft surface world area.
Well, then you can't judge me by the same metrics that you use for the people who live here.
A good bad point in that one. Do you surface dwellers all act out for their own interest, or would you actually come back and give me what I want?
Yeah, I would. I'll get my friends together.
Make
I would-
one more animal handling check.
Are you kidding me with these
The
stupid
roll
rolls?
is a dick. This entire drow arc has sucked.
It
The
really
dice, the
has.
dice are always trying to
All
stop
the
us doing
dice.
full role play.
It's crazy. That's like a 7. I would. You raise a good point, but I need something from you in return first. What can you give me? Just to ensure that you'll be back.
What's something that you want?
No, what's something you want that you can leave with me until you're back?
Oh,
Like a finger or something.
Yeah.
oh
Right
no. I don't really have much of anything here.
Can you cut off a foot? I hear they're lucky.
I kind of need that, you know.
Really? I got 8 of them.
Oh, I don't have that many.
Your loss.
I have some books. I have a map,
Hmm.
a spear. Do you want a spear?
Not particularly. And unfortunately, I can't read.
Oh,
Oh,
a shirt.
Jason Statham.
A shirt made by a goblin. It's blue.
Do you want the shirt made by the goblin?
Yeah.
Make a deception
Nice.
check.
I bought it.
Unless, of course, Fern really,
Look
really
like
wants that
10
shirt.
Yeah, she bought it. It's hers.
All right, make a persuasion check then.
She bought it from that goblin.
Okay. Leave me the shirt. I'll give you some venom. But I expect you back soon, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to my friends. I have to go find them.
All
You
right.
convince us for spider jailbreak.
Spider tail.
Then give me the bucket, and I'll give you your venom.
Thank you.
The spider goes, he puts his large fangs in the bucket, and just like you can see the venom leaking out, and after only a few moments, the bucket is filled right to the brim.
Damn.
Don't get that
That's
on your
disgusting.
hands. It's not that great. And especially don't get it in any open wounds as long as you like breathing.
Yeah, I won't. Thank you very much. It was great doing business with you. And I will see you later. I will just like do a little knock on the door and be like, okay, guys, I'm done.
The spider you see with one leg drags the shirt, and just kind of like puts it under his body and just plumps down on
Do you want-
top of it.
Do you want me to help you like put it on? You want to like wear it?
It's a little small for me, love.
Oh, sorry. Well, I hope you like it. It's really nice.
It's more important
know
that you like it.
I do. It's a blue shirt that I bought from this goblin.
The
Goblin made.
Yes.
You need to come back with a bigger shirt that says "World's #1 Spider Dad."
the lock opens. The door slides open,
Oh,
and the
Here's your
stable.
venom.
Two priestesses grab the bucket and carefully move it away. The stable master. Surprised you did that without getting bitten. Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Can I go back to bed now?
Yes, cause no more
Thank you.
trouble.
Okay.
The stable door slides shut again and the lock placed back on. You run
Colonel,
back
run
to the
back to bed.
back to bed. All right. Fiffle.
Yeah.
I feel like Otto and Graham are like, I have a bad feeling about stuff right now.
no, at this point, Graham is on board with letting the spiders loose. Fuck these drow.
You and me both. We're gonna be very easily convinced.
I got to protect the slaves and try to carry out what minimal carnage I can. But on the other hand, it's
The
a city
internal
full of
carnage, who gives a
slavers. They
shit?
can fuck themselves.
Fern's gonna
So
come out of the temple riding a huge spider later.
I'm the king of everything.
The Spider Queen has arrived.
Fiffle.
like if we can create an alliance between the slaves and the spiders,
Yes,
it's
that's
probably
what I'm
the best of
saying.
both worlds.
The Spider Slave Alliance.
And then they can ride forth into the greater Underdark as friends.
Yes. That spider gave a lot of indication he wanted to be friends with people.
Yeah,
We can teach him the meaning of friendship. It'll be
Yeah.
very endearing.
exactly.
Just Rami's not
I'm
here,
gonna
so I
come
have
back
to
with
use his
help.
level of aggressive magical thinking for this.
I'm gonna come back with help. All the spiders are gonna get out. He's like, man, these surface dwellers are pretty cool. They actually said what they were gonna do, and they did it. It's like, maybe I should go to the surface.
So, yeah. Fiffle, you are walking down the road. You have on your 30-pound backpack.
Yep.
You
And then
arrive at the garden where the person told you. The garden itself, you can see a number of trees. The garden is surrounded by a black iron fence. There are two entrances you can see, one large gate with a number of guards standing both out front and inside the garden itself, as well as a smaller gate where you can see a number of people wearing silver collars around their neck, entering and exiting.
we have that smaller entrance. I'm gonna locate caterers.
Okay. As you enter into the smaller entrance, a drow there, who it seems to be commanding a number of different indentured servants, looks to you. Hala fanafs. Hala fanafs. Gna?
Piffle does not react. I mean, can I see his lips moving? Am
Yes.
I looking at him?
Yep.
Piffle points to his collar and to the other ones moving in and out. I'm with them.
Tapada dabada nisfala. Daba. Just kind of waves his hand at you.
Piffle, does he like wave me forward, away?
Yep.
Perfect.
You,
I'll follow the other serving persons.
okay. You can see a small, kind of squat stone building with the servants going into it. Inside, you can see that there's a small little kitchen area with a number of platters of silver and gold, drinks and food, and
The platters appear to be solid silver and gold.
it looks to be completely silver and gold. Doesn't even look like it's plated.
Okay, all right. Mental note.
One of the platters is handed to you, and then a number of drinks and dishes of food and small dishes of drugs are placed on it. The indentured
Perfect.
servant who gave it to you. Gabitsna to flex nuff tick slack.
Yep. Piffle nods like he understands perfectly and heads out into the party with the tray.
In the actual garden proper, there are a number of really just what you'd expect from a garden, although you've noticed that where the trees are kind of blooming with these like blood red leaves, and they have a number of branches that kind of twist and curl around. The roses are these bright red petals, and on the stems themselves, you can see these very, very sharp, long thorns coming off of them in the bushes. It's primarily drow who just are around in this area who are discussing amongst themselves almost entirely in undercommon. You're not able to make out what they're saying. They're all dressed.
I just realized my plan for figuring out who my target is going to be like really difficult because I don't speak the language at all.
Oh dear.
I should have asked more questions about him. Fuck, I didn't even think about that. Shit. Well, now he told me the name, and I know the name.
Mhm.
I know how the name is said and how people will be saying the name, right? I personally have forgotten the name.
Yep.
There was a Z in it, or maybe a
I
V.
have it right here.
Possibly both.
Rizvin Azel.
A Z and a V in it. More than one. See, I sort of remembered that. So I'm just gonna just be a waiter,
Okay.
a deaf mute waiter, and I'm just gonna work the party as a waiter, bringing drinks and stuff around, and listen for people saying the name Rizvin or Rizvin Azel or Azel or whatever.
Okay. It takes a bit of time.
Somebody will greet him by name at some point.
You do see a number of people kind of wave you over and grab drinks from the tray. A couple people grab food. After about 20 minutes, your tray has been emptied completely.
Okay. I'll loop back through the kitchen, get a new tray of stuff. I'll take some like used glasses and stuff back.
Okay. Another tray is prepared, and the food items, drinks, and drugs placed upon it again.
Okay. I'd like to clandestinely do a small amount of the drugs.
Okay. It's primarily a kind of like silvery powder on a small parchment paper.
Yep.
There's also a little vial of a kind of like green liquid that's floating in a dark black liquid.
Piffle like doesn't do a bunch of it. He's like definitely on the job, but he just like does a bump of the mysterious powder,
Okay.
like stealthily.
Give me a sleight of hand to just do it. Palm it and quickly and quietly do it.
Yeah, he just like catches some on his fingernail.
Fiffle. Does Fiffle have a coke nail? That's an interesting question.
Where is it?
Character development.
Yeah.
Well, Fiffle,
he does.
Fiffle, you're able to just get a bit of the actual like drug onto your fingertip. And how much of it did you want?
Just a bump, a small amount.
Okay, you get enough to give you a effect of the drug. It tastes kind of like a burnt metal flavor.
Yummy.
And your mouth kind of tingles and burns a little bit. And you can kind of feel a little bit of like your like the blood kind of flowing around your head and your ears. And you definitely can experience it's like you can see things a little easier and you can hear things a little sharper from that amount you took. And you're definitely feeling a warm sensation within your head and your throat and your upper chest.
Cool. I'll keep going about my job here.
Okay.
Listening.
Make
I've
a
enhanced my hearing a little bit, so I'll
Yeah.
be able to hear better.
Make a perception check.
Okay.
Fiffle, especially with that little amount that you took helping, you do occasionally hear the name Rizvin. It's mixed in to a number of undercommon. Can hear Ta Splafna Rizvin, Ta Flasna, Ta Flixnax Rizvin.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see a couple of dark elves, like the drow, just standing around, and one of them is speaking to a very well dressed drow. His clothes are a excellent cut of silk, and a number of gold kind of like fabric is like woven into it as well. He is wearing an exceptional amount of jewelry. You can see around his neck is a little amulet made of a shining dark black metal, and inlaid into it is a large kind of fat diamond.
Nice.
On his fingers, he has a number of jewels and rings.
Including the signet ring I'm supposed to steal.
Make another perception check.
That would, of course, be the confirmation that this is the right guy. Signet rings being supposedly unique.
Yeah, just give me a yep, perfect. So
make the same roll. Snake eyes.
Yes, you can definitely see on his right hand, on his ring finger, is a ring identical to the one you have, including the actual signet on it.
Okay. All right. I will. So I'm supposed to record him as much as I can.
Yep. The drow.
Just in general.
Yep. The drow thief you would show, who talked to, who gave you the recording device, showed you how to turn it on and off using a little lever.
Yep. Okay. So I've got it all cranked up and ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
You said the cylinder records 10 minutes?
It has 10 minutes of power before it needs to be rewound.
He didn't specify like how much recording I'm supposed to do. It's just as much as I can manage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna begin. I'm basically gonna try and make it look random. Like keep doing what I've been doing. Deliver drinks and foods and drugs and things. And take things back. But I'm going to make sure that when I make my rounds that I always pass by this dude. And as I do that, and as I do the drinks in his area, I'm going to flip the thing on and capture whatever he's talking about, like 30 seconds at a time.
Okay.
And then like flip it off as I walk away. And just like keep doing that.
Okay. When you go and flip the switch on, you can kind of feel the vest you're wearing start to, like, you can definitely feel like something moving on it itself, and you can hear a little whirl and whine from it. Among the actual party itself, it's not that loud, but you suspect if you were in a quiet location, it would be pretty noticeable.
Okay. That's what I figured. I'm definitely gonna like, like I'm not gonna like go up to him while he's like off by himself and like turn it on and like make noise. Like I'm gonna bear that in mind. Stay around groups of chatting people and linger near the musicians or whatever.
Okay.
So how do we want to decide how long that takes and how much I get? I want to like do that for a while and then like try and steal his shit and run away.
Well, however long you want to stay next to him is up to you.
Well, I wanna pass him by a number of times and get like snippets of conversation.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that. If you want to do it like 30 seconds at a time, you could do it like, you know, 20 times for a full 10 minutes.
Yeah. Do you want me to roll something for it, or?
I would imagine it would just be you walking back and forth among it. Although, after about 5 passes, your tray does empty out.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna keep refilling the tray and all that
Okay.
nonsense.
Yep. You get the tray. You go back to the building and just kind of get more stuff on the tray.
Yeah.
Okay. You head back out into the garden, and you cannot find Rizvin. He is not in his spot he was before.
Okay. All right. Gonna go back to surveillance mode.
Mm-hmm. You can do another perception or an
Walk
investigation if you'd
around.
like
Um,
to try and find him.
I'll use my instincts and roll perception.
Okay.
Nice.
It does take you a
Well,
little bit of
you can't
time.
roll 22s forever, I guess.
Takes a little bit of time. Takes you about 10 minutes, but you do find Rizvin and the other drow he'd been talking to, and they've pulled off to a area of the garden where there's less people and less noise, and are having a private conversation.
That's the goods right there. Is there anywhere around them where one could maybe not be seen?
Oh yes,
Or
there's
one
a
could
number of
practice the
bushes.
art of not being seen?
There's a number of bushes, rose bushes, and a tree standing around them.
If you've ever seen that Monty Python sketch where the guy's trying to not be seen.
Oh, actually,
Okay.
yes, I have.
They keep blowing him up, or I forget exactly, but
I remember it. I remember that one, but it's been a while.
So I'm gonna try and like make my way and stealth into the bush.
Okay, roll me stealth, please.
Don't fuck me, dice. Don't fuck me, dice.
Okay.
It's only
Fiffle, the bush itself, the thick rose bush covered in thorns, is. You can definitely see even before you enter it that it's very thorny, and you could push into it, but you're pretty sure you'd get cut up.
I'm a halfling. I was born in the briar patch.
All right, Fiffle, you push in, and you are going to be taking 2 slashing damage from those thorns. But you're able to push in, and you're able to get.
Piffle realizes as the thorns cut him that he was not, in fact, born in the briar patch.
Once you
Okay.
push into the bush, however, as quietly, as stealthily as you can, you are within just a couple of feet of the 2 drow. You can hear them conversing in Undercommon.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna aim my little horn at them and say a little prayer under my breath to whatever deity protects thieves, and turn on the device.
Okay. You flick on the device, you can hear the whirring. The 2 drow don't appear to notice. They simply begin to converse in Undercommon still.
Fizzle smiles a little smile and commits acts of espionage.
After a while, it actually does. You'd used about half of the available 10 minutes, so you were able to record 5 minutes before you can feel the vest stop working and the whirring slowly peters out.
Okay. They're still talking though?
They're still talking.
And recharging it was some sort of elaborate crank mechanism, I believe.
Yep, you were given a small brass key and told to just put it into the back and just crank it from there. 10 times.
That's for sure. Got to make a bunch of noise. I'm not doing that right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to just accept I'm not getting the rest of this particular conversation. I'm going to see if I can wait them out a little bit, like see if they finish talking and walk away within another couple minutes.
Okay. If you're waiting in there, it does take them about 10, 15 minutes before they finish their conversation and make their way back to the party. The drow that you have to eavesdrop on, Rizvin, he does stay behind to finish a drink. So the one drow you've been speaking with heads back to the party, and you are left with Rizvin, who's just kind of like finishing up his drink. It's about halfway full, and he's like downing it. You suspect he'd probably be finished in a minute or two, the way he's drinking it.
He's drinking it quickly?
It's like a little like bit at a time. He's not nursing it.
How does his like body language look as he's been standing around talking to this guy, walking around and stuff? Does he seem intoxicated?
Make an insight check.
Okay, that is a good use for an insight check. Oh, yeah, it's wonderful.
Well, you can.
You are a halfling.
Yeah, halfling.
Oh, I am a halfling.
Fiffle will wink at himself. He seems at ease. He's not intoxicated. Maybe at worst, or for you best, a little buzzed. But he seems to have primarily been sticking with just a single, like one or two drinks. He has refused to touch any of the drugs that have gone by.
Oh man, taking off somebody's ring and replacing it is like, that's pretty hardcore. As long, if they're like awake.
His hand is next to the bush. As he has the wine glass in his left hand.
The DM taunts me. His hand is just dangling there in front of my face.
It is inches away.
And what would you have me roll to replace his ring?
This would be a sleight of hand roll. You would also have to push through the rose bush even further, cutting yourself, you're almost certain.
I don't care about the damage as long as my stealth still counts.
You haven't done anything to break the stealth.
Well, I got a smoke bomb. Worst case. Sleight of hand. Ooh. Woof.
These dice, man.
The
These dice.
ring slides off his finger, and you're able to replace it, and he does not appear to know. He does not appear to notice. I rolled for him to notice, and he did not. He did not roll very high.
Well, the dice fuck everyone equally. Hooray! Well, not equally.
Oh, and also, as you have pushed forward more, you're going to be taking 3 slashing damage.
All right, that's acceptable. Acceptable losses.
Very minor penalty to pay for success.
Yeah. Now he also had a giant diamond around his neck, and the party is not over. Piffle, as you know, is not very smart and is very greedy. So after what's his face walks away, I'm going to, while still hidden in the bush, away from everyone, re-crank my recording device. And then I will carefully exit back to the party.
Okay.
Where I will resume what I was doing before. No one seems to have marked me yet.
Okay. Fiffle, as you leave the bush, you notice that the silk robe you had been given has a number of tears and cuts in it.
Ooh.
From the thorns of the bush.
This was a rental.
The listening device is also not as
Is it
well
visible?
hidden
Hmm.
now that there's a number of holes in the actual robe you're wearing. You also have a number of thorns still stuck into your clothing, a number of stems that have broken off, and even a rose that has kind of stuffed into your front pocket.
You're beautiful.
Well, I'll leave the rose and let me think now. This is a garden party.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the sort of place that like it's in a park, or this is like the garden of somebody's house,
This is
like a
like
wealthy
a
person's house or something?
this is like a public park that has been closed off.
Okay, all right. So there's nobody's like house I could sneak into to steal more clothes or things like that.
There's a couple of buildings. You saw the building that you had retrieved the tray from. You also notice a couple of other small little short stone buildings uh, dotted around the park itself.
Okay, okay. Do I still have the tray?
Yes.
Is it a gold one?
Yes.
Piffle kind of looks at the tray, looks at the robe, looks at his giant backpack starting to stick out a little bit, looks back at the party, looks at the tray, heaves a big sigh, and says, "All right, you'll be enough of a consolation prize." And he starts looking for a way to exit stealthily. Um, Maybe just back through the servant's entrance with a stealth roll to kind of not be remarked upon.
Okay. The area in your park you're
I
currently
will.
at.
I'll put the tray under what remains of my robe.
Okay. So the area the tray under your robe creates a very visible circle under your clothes, as this tray is pretty large. It's not a dinner plate. This is a very large serving tray that is um, probably a good 2 to 3 feet across, and is meant to hold a lot of food.
So, like, as I'm approaching the exit, like, are there still like random drow guards floating around there?
Yep, there are drow people enjoying the party. You do see a number of drow who are apparently wearing armor and carrying weapons.
Okay.
And you are actually on the other side of the park from where you entered in from.
This is a different servant's entrance.
Yeah, the servants' entrance, there is only one you saw, and there's one large entrance into the park itself. Uh, the rest of it is surrounded by a tall metal uh, fence, in essence, with
Okay.
metal spikes. There's approximately a bit of space in between each of the slats, and each of them are go up good 8 feet and end with a nice metal tip right at the top.
All right, so I'm on the other side of the park from both entrances, or
The main entrance, is closer to you. Uh, you would have to cover about half the distance of the park to get to it, versus the surface entrance, which you'd have to cover the entire distance of the park.
all right. So I'll head towards the main entrance.
Okay, give me a stealth roll, please.
Okay. Come on, dice. Okay, all right.
Fiffle, you're able to stick to hiding behind various hedges, trees, park benches, and even occasionally slip around groups of talking drow who have had maybe a little too much drink and are able to make it to the actual entrance itself. At the entrance, you can see that there are guards stationed at both the exit, who are both
Okay.
inside and outside of the park itself.
And people still coming in and out.
At this point, no, not really.
Okay.
There's no, like, the gate, it's open, so people can exit and enter as they desire, but no
What's
one's
around the
currently.
gate
Um,
on my side?
Around the gate on your side, you do see a number of hedges and additional rose gardens, bushes. Um, there's also a taller tree that is going up, and as it's been trimmed so it doesn't actually go over the fence itself, but one of the branches does terminate at the actual fence line.
So theoretically, one could leap over the fence from that.
Theoretically.
Going,
It'd be probably a 15-foot fall, but yeah.
I'm going to make my way to the base of that tree.
Okay. The tree.
And then I'm going to take my smoke bomb.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to throw it in the general direction of the entrance gate.
Okay.
Sort of like just inside.
Okay.
After lighting its, little fuse or whatever.
Basically just an egg. You look like you just need to like throw it like a stone.
Okay.
So just give me
impact.
Give me a. What would this be? I would say this would probably be an athletics to just chuck it accurately.
Okay. Nice.
Well, it doesn't really go to the entrance. In fact, it lands a lot closer to you than you would like. As you go to throw it, it feels a lot more slick, and it kind of just like slides out of your hand. So it goes about 10 feet, but not like the full amount. So it covers about half the distance of where you want it to land, and it hits.
Man.
And
guy gave me a greased smoke bomb. I'm getting a refund for this.
Billow of smoke erupts from it, spreading out like 10 feet in every direction from where it landed, rising up about 20 feet.
Okay. Well, does it attract the guards?
Oh, yeah. People seem to notice this smoke bomb. The guards at the front of the gate, they like look in. The other two guards, the guards already inside, pull out their swords, take out their shields, and are beginning to try and wave away the smoke, and are like slicing through with their swords into the actual source of the smoke itself. The two guards who are outside of the gate are looking in, but have not moved from their post.
All right. So at this point, I'm going to try to climb the tree and jump off the branch.
Okay. You can do either an athletics or an acrobatics to quickly climb the tree. The tree itself.
Let's go for a dexterity-based roll here. Okay.
The tree itself is a rough-barked tree of a very dark wood. You're able to climb. The branches themselves, it does have a number of very large, thick branches that would probably be about the thickness of like an orc's arm. But there also are a number of very like grasping, twisting kind of vines within the branches themselves. So you're able to get to the top, no issue. That's the point where you see all the various vines up above, and it looks like almost a kind of natural razor wire.
What? Razor wire vines?
Yeah, sort of. It looks like it. I mean, you can definitely see like a number of like bits of thorns that are kind of like long and broad. Definitely look very like sharp. It might tangle you up. Probably is going to cut you, but you could probably push through it much like you did with the bush.
Thinking about this silk robe. I could use it in this situation, but then I'd have nothing to hide my weird backpack and ill-gotten gains. I'd much rather hide my weird backpack and stolen tray, so I'm going to go ahead and just use my body to bridge the gap and slip over the vines.
Give me a dex save, please.
I said.
Okay. Well, the vines are very twisting and cutting, so you are going to be taking 7 points of slashing damage from them.
Oof.
They're going to be cutting into the robe, tearing it, but you are able to get to the edge of the branch, overlooking the actual fence. You are free to jump if you would like to.
Yeah.
Okay? It's a 15-foot drop.
Oh, that's pretty far. Is there something to jump into, like a bush?
Make a perception check. There is a small, what looks to be a number of, well, you think you think it's a cart full of leaves, possibly from the groundskeeper just outside.
Haha.
So
How
you can-
convenient. I'm gonna jump into that shit
okay.
so that I don't die.
Give me another acrobatics to attempt to accurately land into it like it's Assassin's Creed.
Gonna have to reroll that.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so Fiffle, you almost clip the edge of the actual wooden cart itself, but you are able to just land within the leaves themselves. You can feel like some thorns and some like bits poking in, but nothing terribly painful compared to what you've just gone through. It's around this
Alright.
point the smoke cloud has dissipated.
Okay.
Biffle the Autier.
Am I
That's
far
your
enough away
brother.
that I can just hop out of here and take off, or am I still like in view?
You would believe you'd be within view of the guards, but
Okay.
they are not looking 100% in your direction. They would just be they would see you out of the corner of your eyes if you were to get out of there without stealthing.
All right. Well, I'll make a stealth roll to get the hell out of here.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Fiffle, you're able to sneak out the side from opposite of where the guards are standing, and you look more or less like you were not quite within the garden party itself, with the minor exception that you're covered in scratches, have a few thorns sticking out of you, and a number of leaves have found their way within your clothing.
Well, these things happen. I'll make my way back to the safe house now that I've gotten out of there.
Okay. Doesn't take you terribly long. It only took like a 10-minute walk, so heading back to the safe house, the drow man you spoke to earlier sees you. A little worse for wear, it seems.
Oh, I've had worse.
Well, anyway, the silk robe is ruined, so that's going to be coming out of your pay.
Yeah, the silk robe almost seems like a setup when a cheaper robe would have done just fine. But anyway, that's fine. It worked out.
Oh yes, well, you had to sneak
How
in.
much is the silk robe worth to you?
Say 50 gold.
That's a fucking lot, dude.
It's a very nice robe.
Okay, well, I have this giant gold platter. Looks like it's worth about 50 gold worth to me.
I would say it's worth about 10 gold, especially as it's most likely stolen and therefore needs to be melted down.
Yeah, okay, it's not hard to melt it down. It's not gonna cost you a bunch of money to do that.
It's labor
So,
costs, really.
Labor costs.
Thief economics.
This guy drives a hard bargain. Look, I think this is a fair compensation for your robe.
Well, let's discuss what you have.
Considering all
achieved.
the Piffle also holds out his arm that's like full of thorns. It's like I think this and the tray are fair compensation for your robe.
Occupational hazardous, really. Let's discuss what you did achieve. Now, do you have the wax disc?
Well, I've got this 30-pound backpack that you said has a wax disc in it.
Yes, I will take that, please.
There you go.
Thank you. He puts it down.
I dropped Eves all over that bastard.
Starts listening to. He basically like pulls out the wax disc, puts it onto like a small little player with a big brass horn, and starts listening to it. Okay, well, this is certainly some eavesdropped, enough for our purposes, of course. And were you able to secure the ring?
But of course, Piffle proudly holds up the ring.
Oh, excellent. He takes the ring from you. just a quick test. Slides it on his finger and takes out a blank piece of paper. And he just presses the signet ring onto it, and you can see from where he pressed a small kind of like symbol emerges from it and spreads out and forms a very well crafted. Um, it's not ink, and it smells a little rank. It looks almost like it was burned in, but it does create the symbol that was on the signet ring. That looks good. So it was 200. Now 50 minus for the robe, and 10 for the powder. So I'll give you 160.
Powder?
I could certainly pay you in 160 gold worth of drugs if you desire.
Wait, what drugs am I being charged for?
No, I'm not charging you for drugs. I'm up because it was 200 extra to steal the signet ring that I'm giving to you.
Right.
Did you perhaps partake of anything while you were at the party? I didn't specify not to, but...
Who, me?
Yes.
Of course not.
Well, anyway, pulls out a bag of 200 gold coins. So, you brought me the signet ring, so I'm going to give you...
Where's the other 10 from? He's charged... So I'm keeping the tray. If he thinks the tray is only worth 10, I'm keeping.
Oh,
there's more than 10 gold in here. You melt down 10 gold, you get a much smaller tray than this.
I mean, if you would like to keep the tray, that is your business. Although I should mention that if you look on both the top and bottom,
around here, huh?
It's also marked with the house icon of House Zell.
All right. How much for the tray?
I will give you 10 for it.
God damn it. All right, fine. You drive a hard bargain.
Thank you. He takes the tray. So, 200 plus 10, so 210, minus 50 for the robe is 160 gold extra in your pocket for a small amount of pain you suffered, right?
Piffle frowns and snatches the gold.
And of course, as part of our agreement, I will be taking you into a safe house. Now, I can have a number of safe houses in the outer city. I have a couple of safe houses in the actual slave quarter itself. Or if you would like, I have a boat I can put you on that can float you down the river to a safe house out of the city, in between cities in the Underdark, in a small hunting cabin.
I'll go with the safe house in the outer city.
Very good. I know we have a wonderful bit. Do you like cabaret?
I adore cabaret.
Then you'll adore this safe house. I have a transport leaving in just an hour's time. All you have to do is simply slide in between the false bottom. We will move you from inner city to outer city, and you will be safe there. Your watchword that you will be saying to them when you arrive is... it's protection. That's really all it is. Just thieves can't. It's protection.
Okay. Sounds good.
Well, pleasure doing business with you, and I will be getting this wax disc and the signet ring to the interested parties. I thank you for your help with this, and I hope that perhaps we can do business again in the future, as you've been more or less... you've been relatively good at it. I mean, you got most of what I desired.
I'm going to find out what our silk robe really costs. Piffle mutters.
I didn't want to say, well, I did, but I didn't. You could have brought it to Graham, and Graham can just cast Mending because it's non-magical.
Well, that wouldn't go with my Piffles on the Lamb.
Yeah, that was the other
You
thing.
also would have had to find you and me.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. All right, well, off Piffle goes.
All right, the hour passes.
Smuggle out of the city.
And The drow man shows you to the back where there is a cart. Uh, he kind of like pops open a small little wooden area underneath the cart, and it's not huge. It's probably big enough to stuff you and Fiffle. I mean, being a halfling, it's tight, but it's at least plenty of leg room.
Cool.
The cart closes up, and you are in darkness. You can feel the cart
Okay.
kind of begin to take off, and it does take about an hour, but eventually the cart stops, and the little wooden piece that shuts up opens up. You are flooded with a dim light. There's a crossbow being stuck in your face. What's the watchword?
Klaatu, Narada. Wait, no. Protection.
He puts down the crossbow. That's right. And he kind of grabs you and pulls you out, and you find yourself at a tavern that also you could see a number of thieves' cant symbols on it. While you can't read the sign, much like the original story went to, this does indicate safe house as well as drinks, and also indicating special entertainment.
Ooh.
You can hear a rather rowdy bit of music coming from within as well.
What a delight. Phil takes up his new life, hiding out in this here cabaret establishment.
All right. Going to go back to Fern. Fern, it is currently, after a few hours, morning time. You can hear a number of bells ringing within the temple itself. The priestesses get up in the barracks you're in and beginning to put on their work clothes and are grabbing a number of different items. Looks like primarily a bunch of cleaning supplies. A bunch of them are grabbing candles. A few of them are grabbing incense censers and are beginning to shuffle out of the barracks.
I will also leave the barracks with the candle that Zana gave me.
Okay. Most of them are going to different various wings of the building itself. A number of them are heading into the main entrance where you had first entered in from.
I will go towards the main entrance and leave from there.
Okay. You do see a number of worshippers beginning to enter into the actual temple. Primarily drow, with the occasional mix of hobgoblin or orc.
Right, I'll start heading out of the temple.
Okay. You leave the temple, and you are beginning to notice the magic that has allowed you to look like a drow beginning to fade. You can see your fur beginning to show on it's like your drow skin becomes transparent and you can see the fur underneath.
I'll hurry around the corner, around away from people then.
Okay, you hurry around the
just see
corner.
me.
Just for the heck of it, give me a stealth roll, please.
Uh-oh.
Come on, dice, you can do it.
Come on, England.
Okay.
You're able to get around the corner out of sight, and the spell completely fades, and you find yourself looking exactly like you normally do.
Okay. I need to find everyone.
Give me a perception check, please. You see a number of symbols scrawled into various statues. Uh, you remember whenever Fiffle would see these, he always got excited.
I wonder what those mean. Can I try to follow them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
As you follow the symbols, you find yourself at a small shop. The door is shut, the blinds have been shut. You're not able to understand what is written on the actual sign itself. On the sign, though, it does seem to be a number of bits of artwork that do incorporate the symbols you had seen earlier.
Can I knock on the door?
It's open. There's
Uh, She'll head inside then.
You see a drow there. Elvish, right? You speak Elvish?
Yeah, yes, I do.
I could tell from your knock. Don't ask me how.
Okay, cool.
How may be assistance? This is my general store. I sell any and all general goods.
Do you sell shirts?
Shirts, yes. Yes, we have a few.
Very large shirts.
Oh, shit.
How large are we talking? Like something that could fit an orc?
Would that fit? Would that fit the spider?
This spider was like the size of a Buick. This is like a car-sized spider.
Get him a baseball hat.
Can I get 2 large shirts?
Of course. He pulls out some like large tunics that you feel would be very well fitted to a large muscular orc.
You have blue ones?
He pulls out 2 kind of dark blue shirts.
How much are these shirts?
Blue's a bit more expensive, so it's going to cost you 2 gold per shirt.
Okay, I'll buy these shirts. Thank you.
Should have bought the spider a baseball cap. It should have put
The perfect
number one.
disguise. We smuggle them out.
It should have just been like on the hat. Could have put number 1 Haragon fan.
Anyway, is there anything else I could get for you today? You seem to be a discerning shopper. I can tell that.
Thank you. I'm looking for a friend.
See a few people today. What's your friend look like? Is he an orc? Is that why you want the large shirts?
Aw.
No, that's unrelated. He's very small, probably about the same height as me, maybe about. He does not speak Undercommon either.
What does he speak?
Halfling, I believe.
I see. And your friend, what are you looking for him for?
I need his help, and we've kind of split up our group, and I'm trying to find him and everyone else.
Now,
and I did see these little symbols. I don't know what they mean, but he knows what they mean. He gets pretty excited when he sees them, so I thought I'd follow them here.
Now, by clientele does expect a certain degree of discretion, you understand?
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, I can't just tell you where he's gone, but I have seen him.
But you have seen him. Okay,
yes.
Cool.
It would be unbecoming of me to just tell you where he has gone to, and to simply provide that service to you of telling you where he went would be not acceptable within my line of work.
Mm-hmm.
And so to provide such a service would be
You lost me.
so if you understand what I'm saying, if you can pick up what
Yeah.
I'm putting down.
Yeah. How much would it cost?
He cost me a very nice silk robe.
Really?
Say
I don't
20,
have a silk.
just for you. 20 gold.
20 gold.
Yes. Just because you have a nice face.
Well, thank you. I wonder if I would be able to track him myself.
Unless, of course, I do need somebody to do a specific favor for me. If
What's
you're
the-
interested.
What is it?
So there's a garden party going on, and
Oh, God.
unfortunately, the eavesdropping I had required has been less than perfect. So if you'd be willing to put on this recording device I have and record some more voices.
I don't think I have enough time for that. We're running out of time here. I need to get to my people.
Well, the party's probably over by now anyway, so.
Just one by one, the party goes to the party, and they just miss each other.
I'm gonna American Tail this. Don't you deny me.
I'm wondering if I could just track him myself. That is something that Fern does pretty well.
Or, I know what you can do for me.
Yes.
We need. How good of a dancer are you?
Oh, God.
I don't know.
How good of a singer are you?
Yeah, probably not great.
Do you tell any jokes? Play any instruments?
No, I'm not a good performer.
You see, we require a little bit of entertainment. Can you? What skills are within your purview?
I'll just give you 20 gold for the thing.
Oh, well, fair enough. If you hand over the 20 gold, he'll tell you that your friend went to a tavern specializing in all manners of entertainment, primarily related to cabaret shows.
Okay.
They also do a bit of vaudeville.
If anyone came in here, would you just give them the same information for 20 gold?
As you can understand, I have a discerning clientele. And no, because he cost me a very nice silk robe that cost me a good 15 gold to purchase. Can you believe it?
Bastard. Fiffle just pops out of the laundry hamper. I knew it!
Fine. Thank you. I'll be leaving now. Thanks for the work shirts.
You're welcome. Oh, and be sure to check out the shows at the at that tavern I sent him to. They're very well performed, but unfortunately, we're always in the need of more entertainment. Can you believe it?
What happens in the show? Are they? Do
Nothing.
people
They
quit?
just
Do they die?
No, they quit and go on to better business.
Oh well. I mean, maybe you could pay them better.
No.
This isn't America.
I'd rather just replace them with other.
Cheaper labor.
Let's call it a stepping stone to better things. For all you know, you could start out there and work your way up to the really nice inner city cabaret shows. Think about it.
Okay. Well, I'm not good at performing, so I'm just gonna go find my friends.
Fair enough. Well, toodaloo, and do be sure to swing by. Oh, and well, not here, of course. I will be moving shop as I have already. I'm sure you'll be telling your friend that I told you where to find him, so I certainly wouldn't want him to discover where I've gone to.
Well, for a small fee, I won't tell him that you told me.
No, I think it's easier just to move
I think
shop.
she's got the lobes.
Just 5 gold. That's all.
Are you telling the truth, or are you actually trying to lie to him?
No, I'm telling the truth.
Make a persuasion check. Slides over 5 gold. I will trust you on this. And if you betray me, I will find you and I will take back this 5 gold. And those 2 shirts.
And the 2 shirts.
And the 2 shirts.
You'll have to fight a spider for them, so I mean.
I don't know if that's euphemism or not, to be honest.
It's not.
Well, I can steal the shirt off a spider's back, so. Not a
Good
statement
luck
I
with
thought
that.
I'd be saying today, but here we are. Well, anyway, good luck, and I do hope you and your friend, I don't know, have a good time. There's plenty of drinks there. Be sure to check out the vaudeville. It's my favorite, personally. If you're good at taking a pratfall, it's always a good source of work as well. Think about it.
Okay, well, I'll be leaving. Goodbye. Thank you.
Goodbye.
I'm just thinking like Fern rats him out. Biffle finds him, steals his money back, and then he goes to go get the shit from the spiders. Like, this was a bad idea.
Technically, Fern said she was telling the truth.
Fern's not going to tell.
Yeah.
She's just going to tell him that she.
For a
She
small
She
fee,
changes her mind on the way there.
I like how Fern is really like integrated into the city's like politics pretty well, and like the vibe of it.
Well, he told me he bought the silk robe for only 15, so I was getting my 5 gold back.
Yeah.
All right, Fern will head to the tavern where Piffle is.
Fern, you arrive at the tavern. You can hear a rambunctious amount of music coming from within.
Go inside.
Inside, you are met with an immediate scent of a kind of like thick cinnamon smell. The music loud. On the stage, you can easily see a number of people who are. It's a mix of a couple of drow, plus an orc on a kind of brass horn, and 2 gray dwarves playing stringed instruments. And a drow singer who is kind of belting out a very, very nice tune. The music very loud. People are definitely having a good time, and the alcohol is flowing pretty freely. Very well packed, especially considering to you it's actually probably morning time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Do I see a Piffle here?
Make a perception check. There is, you don't see Fiffle, but you see a number of private rooms in the back that do have same mark.
This is like the same day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I mean, let's let it roll. If it had been like a week, Piffle would have for sure joined. If it had even been tomorrow, Piffle would have joined the cabaret show, and you would have seen it the evening on stage.
He's renegotiating his contract.
Fern, you see a hallway with a curtain blocking it off, and there is a symbol that you had seen earlier, the same one that was on the building and the statues that led you to the shopkeeper.
She will head there then.
Making your way through, you do find Fiffle, who is chatting with a drow man. Don't really understand what they're saying, although Fiffle, as you're speaking with the drow man, he says, "Mr. Rat Sauce, would you perhaps be interested in doing any cabaret work?"
Would I?
Now, of course,
Fern yells, "Cheese it!" So that's what she heard him say whenever they were playing poker.
Fiffle, you hear in common your associate Fern yell, "Cheese it!"
Piffle looks up in alarm, looking around for some reason to quickly cheese it. I guess seeing Fern. Oh, hi.
Hey, we should probably get out of here.
Why?
My operation didn't go as planned, so we probably need to leave
Oh.
immediately and find everyone.
Don't forget the
See-
spiders. I'm going to remind you about the spiders.
And yeah,
For a while because I was freed from prison by a mysterious stranger who I'm pretty sure was up to no good.
you don't think that has anything to do with our friends?
I mean, I may or may not. Wait, that would make sense, wouldn't it?
Probably
They don't
not.
know any mysterious strangers.
I think we know a few, at least that we've met down here.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, Fern.
Fucking
You're
Otto
sure?
and Graham are just
I
playing
do
fucking
need
cards
your help
right now,
with-
waiting.
I do need your help with something. How do you feel about giant spiders?
Not great.
Me neither,
Not
but I
bad.
kind of promised this really big giant spider that we would help him escape. So
Okay, all right.
Don't forget that he's really mad at the
Capture
keeper.
giant spiders. Or I could join the cabaret show and just live here.
you
Ah,
might be
just,
able to ride one of the giant spiders. They could be a friend.
all right. I mean, I already have an ostrich friend.
Maybe Kaido could use a spider friend. He comes back. Here, dude,
Well,
use your
look.
fucking animal handling check on the spider and not Aurora anymore, bitch.
What is your agreement with the spider again, and why do you have to uphold it?
To he has a shirt that I bought from a goblin in the marketplace we were at in the Underdark last time. And we're supposed to open their stalls and let them free, basically.
They want a rampage. Don't forget that part.
Yeah, they want to rampage through the city. He basically just wants to get out.
This is kind of a terrible city full of drow slavers.
Yes, it is.
I'm at least ambivalent about letting giant spiders rampage. I'm not.
Yeah. I had to convince him to not eat me, so
So, really, the main wrinkle is how do we make sure the giant spiders don't kill us when they rampage through the city?
we're the ones who freed them, so I'm hoping that would be enough.
Loyalty of a giant spider, you say? I don't know that I know anything about how loyal giant spiders are or are not, but
I'm gonna give him a giant shirt as well. I just have to sew these two shirts together.
well, that should ensure his lifelong friendship.
It might.
Okay. Well, so we need to murder an orc then and drag it down to a spider den. Is that where you're going with this? Oh wait, no. You wanted to set them free. I forgot.
Yeah.
I had it in my head from before that you wanted an orc.
He does like orcs. They're his favorite apparently, but
Right,
the final decision was just to free them.
We'll keep
He
that
can
in
find
the
his own orcs.
in case we happen to find some orcs. Okay, I mean, I'll pick a lock, Fern. I do that. It's a thing I do.
Yeah.
If you're sure that the giant spider won't immediately eat me,
I'm pretty sure he won't.
Okay.
I'll give him the shirt and unlock the doors for them. He really wants to kill the stable master, so
that's fine.
he might do that.
Okay. Does the stable master have any money?
Probably. I don't know.
Got to be good money wrangling.
I mean,
spiders like
it's a church, so you could probably steal all the money on the way out too.
that. It's a living.
Do the spiders guard the money?
No, they're kept in stables. They milk them for their venom.
Oh, what do they do with that?
I don't know.
Drow things.
Yes. I'm assuming poison people, but I'm not sure who.
All right. I'll have to make sure I don't steal anything that's coated in spider venom then.
While we're having this
Fern.
discussion, Fern is sewing the two shirts together into one giant shirt.
Funny enough, hold on, I gotta check. I think there's a specific tool kit, like a tailor's kit.
I don't have a tailor's kit. I only have cooking utensils.
I feel like if these people can understand their conversation, they would be all over being the opportunists they are to like take advantage of this.
There's weaver's tools. Yeah, if you have like a needle and thread, you'd be able to like put it together. But
Maybe
otherwise, you'd have to
borrow
like
it.
get some.
I'm sure they have some at this cabaret. They like how they sew their costumes and stuff. Maybe I can borrow one from someone.
Well, you see a number of the various cabaret dancers beginning to file onto stage. It's a selection, primarily drow women, in very large, poofy dresses, big, wide-brimmed hats.
They're making great disguise.
Lot of ribbons attached to them.
I'll ask them in Elvish if they have a needle and thread that I could borrow.
Make a persuasion check. Sorry, gotta run on stage.
What about the guy that Fiffle was talking to?
Yeah, how about backstage? Piffle's there. Let's just go backstage and find the seamstress.
Okay.
I'm sure somebody sews these costumes.
Yeah.
Okay, make an investigation check to try and find the backstage seamstress. Takes you a while, but you do eventually find the seamstress coming back from what looks to be some sort of a breakfast. She also has in her hand a mug of beer.
Cool.
Hi. Can I borrow a needle and thread, please?
Kind of my livelihood. I can't just part with needle and thread. I mean, especially know how much a good needle is.
I'll give the needle back.
Make another persuasion. Fine. Just don't use up too much thread.
Thank you.
She points you into the back where like she works, and you can see fabric scissors, bolts of cloth, as well as a lot of different thread and needle. Needles all kind of stuffed into a little cushion, and various threads of different colors and thicknesses. One thread does almost match the blue.
Yeah, I'll use that one.
Okay. In lieu of you not having any kit for it, I would say just roll your dexterity to use the thread to kind of stitch them together. Well, you do stitch them together. Works a bit loose here or there. Some of the thread does kind of poke out in spots, and you did actually prick yourself once or twice. But the shirts have been properly cut apart and stitched back together to make one super shirt.
The human
Cool.
shirtipede.
Spider shirt.
Among
Okay.
it, you have made holes enough for all 8 of the limbs.
Yes. Okay, I hope he likes this.
Number one spider dad.
And I'll put the needle back, and I'm not going to take it.
Does take you about 2 hours to do all this, but you do in fact have a
Jeez.
shirt.
You're gonna give a spider a shirt.
Okay, I guess we should head to the back to the temple.
You think we can convince the spiders to free the slaves? That would be even more.
They don't really look out for anyone other than themselves, so I don't think so.
They're libertarian spiders.
They might just they'll probably like kill some of the drow in the city on their way out. That's what I'm assuming, but that's probably about it.
I'm gonna see if I can raise their sense of moral justice.
You can try, but it was hard to convince just this one to not eat me outright. So
We'll see. All this shirt making has got me hopeful.
I don't know. Maybe it'll change his
The
mind.
spider's gonna cry. He's like, "You're the first person that was nice to me."
That would be amazing.
All right, boys, let's fuck them up.
All right. Fiffle and Fern head back to the temple.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You find yourself takes you about like an hour to get to where the temple is, but you do eventually arrive. You can see a number of people coming in for service. So there's a large group of them. But I think we will stop it here. So we've been playing about 2 hours, and we'll pick this up next week.
Nice.